Hey guys, this is Changy77, coach of the Brisbane Heatrans, here with week 3 of the ECAL, the Auction League. And this week we're going up against IFAS and the New York Metangs. His team is really threatening, consisting of Hydreigon, Mesprit, Megalopony, Galvantula, Suicune, Aerodactyl, Bronzong, Klefki, Toxicroak, Wigglytuff, Mamoswine, Moltres, Leafeon, and Armado. So right off the bat, threats, Megalopony, huge threat, Hydreigon, huge threat, and Suicune, does its fat things, Galvantula. But looking at his team, he doesn't have many answers to kill Mega Venusaur. So Mega Venusaur coming back again this week. But before I start, I wanted to say that I made a transaction. As you can see, I have Crobat in my team, and I traded Crobat for Skarmory because I wanted a little bit more speed, and I wanted a way to kill fairy types. Because right now, the only super effective stab moves that I had to hit fairies were from Skarmory and Registeel, and both aren't known for their offensive presence. So I thought Crobat would be really nice. Gives me a lot of speed, and gives me more options being able to run it offensive and defensive. The only thing I really lose with Skarmory is a little bit of bulk, which can be made up elsewhere, and hazard stack options, as Zapdos had access to spikes. And I lose a Stealth Rocker as well, but I have an array of those. Registeel can still set up rocks very reliably, as well as Infernape and Crocodile. So, yeah, in my opinion, it's an upgrade. Yeah, as you can see, we brought it here. Crobat. Other things that were a threat to my team, I really thought he would. Scarf Mesprit was a huge threat. And the only other thing he had to hit Mega Venusaur was a banded Aerodactyl. And as you can see, he brought both. So he has ways of dealing with Mega Venusaur. And because Mesprit was such a threat, I had to bring Crocodile. I had to bring a dark type, and I thought Crocodile would be better in this situation. Scar, and yes, just going through my team. Mega Venusaur, enough defense to live, I believe, 2 Adamant Life Orbs Aerial Aces from Aerodactyl, or a banded Jolly, or 2 from Jolly banded Aerodactyl. So basically, it had to be adamant to hit KME. I ran a speedy, semi-speedy, semi-defensive Crobat, enough speed to outspeed Galvantula, enough defense to take a return from Megalopony, and the rest in attack and HP. This Wash Tom was especially defensive to take on the Hydreigon, because Hydreigon is good, and also there to take on the Mesprit as well. Just a special wall because I was really scared of Mesprit. Scarf Infernape to clean up because I needed something to outspeed Scarf Mesprit. Bulky Zapdos. No, it wasn't. It was max speed almost max speed, expert belt, Zapdos with T-Bolt, U-turn, Heat Wave, and probably Volt. No, I don't remember. And a Krookodile with Stealth Rocks, Knockoff, Pursuit, and Superpower. Yeah. The Venusaur had Leech Seed Synthesis, Giga Drain, and Roar to roar out the Suicune in case things got out of hand. And Crobat had Defog, Brave Bird, Roost, U-turn, and Rotom Wash was Volt Switch, Pain Split, probably Hydro Pump for the Mamoswine, and Will-O-Wisp. Infernape had U-turn, Close Combat, Flare Blitz, and not sure, Stone Edge probably. So yes, leads. I thought he would lead out with Mesprit, in case it was, because it's Scarfed, it can get off a fast U-turn. So I decided to lead out with Infernape, as we see that he does indeed lead out the Mesprit, which is awesome, because I thought, yes, I can get momentum or get a lot of damage off with this Infernape, but we see that it's actually a bit more defensive. I think pretty much max defense. So disappointing, but it's a good thing because it means that we don't have to deal with Scarf Mesprit, and it's just one more thing that the Venusaur can heal up on. So we go into Rotom as he gets off a slow U-turn, goes into the Bronzong and sets up the rocks as I missed the Will-O-Wisp and I wanted to burn him just to see if he was heat proof. But the mist doesn't really matter. It means he gets off a Toxic on me, but we'll see that doesn't really matter too much in the end. So I go into Krookodile as he Psychics me, which is awesome. And now I'm just going to click Knock Off because I don't want to reveal Pursuit just yet. No, I click Superpower because I predicted Megalopony to come in. But that does nothing to the Suicune, as this also does nothing. So this is a super effective Ice Beam to a Venusaur that is not yet Mega Evolved. So that's super effective damage, and it still does 30% because Suicune is weak. Yes, that's all I want to say. So here I'm able to freely Mega Evolve, get up Leech Seeds to heal up, and I'm able to synthesis up on this thing as his damage is very pitiful. At this point I know a Giga Drain can kill, so I decide to Giga Drain him and get a little bit of health back as he sends out the Aerodactyl, and we see that's 2-hit KO. That confirms Adamant Band. That's okay, we have a Rotom Wash which can eat those for days. The Toxic is unfortunate, but he switches as I Volt Switch, able to gain the momentum here, and here he makes an interesting play, and I knew I was going to outspeed, and I thought he's definitely going to switch. I have Close Combat, I will kill this thing with a Close Combat. So U-turn, get off some nice damage, chip damage on probably the incoming Suicune, allow me to go back into Venusaur and heal up, because right now Mega Venusaur is very low, so there's not many things that I can bring it in on. Suicune is pretty much the only thing. So I was hoping he would switch out into Suicune, allow me to get a synthesis off to get up to some nice health, so that I can take a Aerial Ace from the Aerodactyl and possibly knock it out with Giga Drain. But here he decides to stay in, which is interesting. But I go into my special wall as he drops a Draco Meteor. So because I saw that the Mesprit wasn't scarfed, I automatically thought, okay, this Hydreigon is scarfed. And that's kind of how the thought process, that's what I was thinking in this next play. So he goes for the Roost, as I thought he would switch, which is why I didn't Pain Split. I just want to gain more momentum because the Pain Split would have been nice, but I thought, grabbing momentum into the incoming probably Mesprit would be nice, as he reveals that he's not choice locked, and he goes into, and I go into Venusaur. So right then I should have been thinking, I was thinking, that doesn't make, that he's not choice locked, that means he's a boosting item, Expert Belt, but Expert Belt wouldn't make sense. He's not life orbed, and he's the damage showed that it was scarf damage, so it couldn't be a boosting item. So immediately I was confused, but at the time but what I should have been thinking was Berry. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind for next time I play. But here I can go into Venusaur, live a -2 Draco, and heal up as he goes into Aerodactyl, as I predict the Suicune to come in and set up Leech Seed. So instead I'm going to sack off the Rotom Wash, scare out the Aerodactyl, and yeah, here I'm able to go into U-turn off the Aerodactyl. I predicted him to switch out, which I haven't been very good at predicting him switching out recently, but luckily he does switch out, because close combat would have killed from the range he was at, and that would allow Mega Venusaur to basically wall the entire rest of his team. He needs Aerodactyl to win, basically. So he went out to Mesprit, predicting that close combat, as I'm able to grab momentum with the U-turn, go into my Krookodile and threaten it with knockoff or Pursuit. I wasn't sure that he wasn't carrying Ice Beam, so that's why I didn't click Pursuit, and I opted to click Knockoff instead. Not able to knock off the Suicune's leftovers, which is really nice, but now able to go into Mega Venusaur to heal up on the Suicune, but he predicts this really nicely and gets a free switch into Mega Lopunny. Here I was sort of just sacking it, as he goes for the sub, and I'm able to get off pretty much all my health back, which is really, really nice. Just going to exchange a few turns of synthesis while he returns, before he starts to power up punch me to gain some more attack, so he can do more damage with return. Why he didn't do this to start, I'm unsure, but that's up to him. So here, as you can see, he went for the Draco. I wanted to preserve Mega Venusaur, because it's still, I still wanted it for the Suicune, and this Crobat was pretty much there just for the Megalopony. I didn't really have a need for it. Yes, it could have gotten off a defog, which would have been nice to, stop wearing down my team so much, but the Crobat was essentially useless. Not useless, but it had the least use on my team, which is why I decided to sack it at this point. And as you can see, I just dropped to the Draco. But now able to go into my Infernape, pressure it, pressure the Hydreigon, and go for close combat because I've U-turned every single time, so I thought he might stay in, I'd be able to kill him very easily, but he predicts it this time, goes into Uxie really nicely, Mesprit, sorry, really nicely to eat up that close combat, taking it, not being able to hit KO it, but now he's able to get off the knockoff and knock off my Archie-Berry. Now I'm able to kill it with Pursuit, finally, and it was at that point that I was really scared. It was at that point I wish I had Taunt over Stealth Rocks, because at no point in this game have I been able to get up the Stealth Rocks. And I thought, crap, if he starts to Calm Mind here, that could really spell trouble for me. But if he Ice Beams here, he gets a crit, then he might take out my Venusaur. So if I let him Calm Mind to a point, I'm not sure that I can come in with my Mega Venusaur and take a hit and heal up, because I don't know how much speed he's running. I haven't been in on this Suicune. I am running a little bit of speed just to speed creep the Suicune. So that was my thought process going on as I switched. I thought worst case scenario, I think I was debating sacking off Crocodile and just getting off as much damage as possible with Superpower, but if he Calm Minds too much, then I'm not able to kill it, which is why I decided to switch into Mega Venusaur. But he reads that really, really nicely and goes into the Aerodactyl, and at this point I have nothing to take it, so I have to let it. I have to let the Mega Venusaur go down, but I'm able to basically clean up the rest of his team with close combat. The Suicune at this point will die to 2, Aerodactyl will die to 1, and the Hydreigon should die to 1 as well. And when I saw the Suicune come in, I was so happy, because I thought, yes, this is game. I can 2-shot this easily with the leftovers knocked off, and as you can see, I do. And then the Hydreigon comes in, I go for close combat, and he's Choppleberry, which makes complete sense now why he was the damage he did was scarf damage, but he had no boosting item because he had a Bloody Berry. But yes, that's my bad for not recognizing the possibility of him being a berry, and sadly not able to clean up with the Infernape, but now able to go into Zapdos, click T-Bolt because it's enough to kill, and then right now the Aerodactyl has to lock himself into a move. He is choice banded, I think, so he has to lock himself into something. if it's Stone Edge, then he kills off my Zapdos and I kill him with Crocodile Superpower, or he locks himself into Aerial Ace and he doesn't do enough to Zapdos. So I basically have the game won at this point. As we see, he goes for the Stone Edge and misses, unfortunately, as we get off the nice T-Bolt and kill him. So that was a great game. I was a lot of calcs. I did a lot of calcs. I don't think I've calced as much in any game before. But yeah, that was a really good game. You played really well, and I feel like I just had a better team matchup from the start. And yeah, we're able to get out luckily with a nice 2-0 win. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys had a good one.